Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Freeman Finds. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. My whole schedule has been so busy lately, especially because I've just started college. And so I know I left off on Stranger Things and Jurassic World / Park, especially when the whole movie was coming out, which been a while. But I thought I might continue that series. I know I've been saying that I've been needing to go to it, but I definitely need to do this one, which is going to be part 2, which is going to be my horror collection, which is right behind me, and my flocked one, which is kind of hiding in the corner. So I'm going to start off with my horror ones, simply because there's less, I believe, than my flocked ones. They're both small collections, but thought I just might start with the horror, because I think these are cooler than flocked, but that's just me. Alrighty, so let's get started with the horror ones. So this is what my horror section looks like. It is consistent of Hellboy, Trick or Treat, Shaun of the Dead, and Friday the 13th. I do wish I had some standard sized Friday the 13th, but they're kind of here and there, hit or miss, and like especially the original one is like super expensive. And then of course, like, you know, the variants, especially the glow in the dark one, that one that had a chase, oof, that one's some big money. But Hellboy, I know some people kind of are like, well, it's more of a comic book movie, but still put it in the horror one, because if you pertain to the comics, like Ron Perlman did an amazing job executing it as a comedy Dark Horse comic movie. But like, if you actually go back to the comics, it's a lot darker than how Ron Perlman's Hellboy interpreted it. But Hellboy, the actor that plays Hopper, I can't think of his name. What's it called? He actually was probably closer to the comics than Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is kind of like, pertains to all audiences, but Hellboy, if you were like an actual comic fan of Hellboy, like, you would understand and like that one more, because it's more darker and more towards like the actual story of Hellboy. And then of course Trick or Treat. Oh man, I fell in love with the movie the first time I've ever seen it. I've seen it like a dozen times already, and I have the comic book to go with it, hardcover. So, but man, this movie is absolutely awesome. Oh, and then we finally get a different Pop character besides Sam. We are getting Chuckles, which, I mean, yeah, it's not exactly like an ooh-ah character, but like, we're finally getting someone else outside of Sam, which means we might hopefully get everybody else from Trick or Treat that just make the movie so good. And then we have Shaun of the Dead, Ed. This isn't the regular one, this is the bloody one, the Entertainment Earth exclusive one, to be exact. And man, Shaun of the Dead is one of the funniest horror movies ever. It's just absolutely amazing how Simon Pegg and Nick Frost just kill it, and like making it funny and everything. And like, it's still horror, but it's not as scary, it's just more funny. So it just makes it so awesome. And then of course, I have both versions. Well, I believe the normal one is not the original one, Keychain Pop, but these two are so cool. So I have the Hot Topic exclusive bloody version of Jason, and then I have the regular movie bundle Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees. So absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna go through them, open them up, and just get a good look at the detailing of these guys, because man, absolutely love these characters, but you can't just get the full grasp of them when they're inside the box. So let's go ahead and start with, I think I'm gonna go with the keychain ones because they're a lot smaller. So alright, let's start with these guys. Here is the first one, which is the normal Jason Voorhees. So I'm gonna have to open it from the top. So sorry they're dusty. I haven't, cleaned my room, but man, just dust in the valley built up so bad. So I'm gonna have to be really careful, so I'm gonna have to do this off camera real quick. And here is the Jason, I don't know if it'll focus. There it is. The Jason Voorhees regular one. Man, this is so cool. So I assume, hold on, when it refocuses on the back of it. It's not gonna refocus, but I assume that with this With this one, it would basically be the regular size pop would basically be a full blown up scale of that one. So absolutely cool, and I love the fact that even though it's not bloody, the machete is still bloody, which makes it so real and effective of like how you would basically recognize Jason Voorhees. So but yeah, and obviously as you can tell, if you never really opened these, they basically comes with the plastic to keep the coating of the metal basically like still shiny. So I mean, I'm pretty sure if you don't open it either way, it still would be shiny, but like if you didn't know, it basically has one of these in the back of it. So and now on to the bloody one. So going back to it, I realized that the other one, the normal one, is technically older than this one. So take it there's even what's it called? There's technically a non-bloody one before the other one. So but this one is so cool. So I'm gonna open this one up and see the blood effect besides the machete, obviously. So I just love the fact that what's it called? Funko did this. This is so cool. The blood splatter in the inside of the box. So absolutely amazing detailing. So I'm gonna pop it open and show real quick because it's basically the same thing, just with a bloody effect. So definitely thought, hold on, sorry, when it focuses, definitely thought there would be more blood like on the clothes and stuff, but it just turns out that the blood is mainly, mainly focuses on just the mask and the eyes. Which I mean, it's cool. It basically like adds more effect of like the movies, because obviously if you've seen the movies, the blood gets more on just the face than the clothes really. I mean, it gets all over him, but still, like, the main one that you can notice right away is just the mask and how vibrant it looks on the mask and the face, basically. So, honestly, loved the first movie, even though never really pertained to Jason besides, like, reference and, you know, the mother being psychotic. If that's a spoiler, I don't know what you're doing with your horror, like, what's it called, like, enjoying horror movies, but haven't seen even the first Friday the 13th. But, yeah. Honestly, part 2 is when it gets crazier because they actually introduce an adult Jason Voorhees. So, I'm not going to spoil the very ending, but absolutely amazing how the blood splatter just looks really good. And the bloody machete, of course, on the first one, but the second one just makes it so much better because it just adds more of an effect with the whole bloody on the mask and everything. So, alright, now I'm going to move on to the Hellboy ones. So I'm going to start off with not everybody's favorite version of Hellboy, which is the actor who plays Hopper in Stranger Things, which I love Ron Perlman's, don't get me wrong. But Hellboy, this version, I think it adds an amazing facts and just an awesome story, like more depth into Hellboy than Ron Perlman's. So but yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to just pop the box open because I doubt you guys want to see that whole long, what's it called, unboxing and everything. So, well, sorry that it gets grainy when it's zoomed out, basically. But once I can zoom it in, oh man, it clears up so much better than when it's zoomed out, camera-wise, sorry. But yeah, so, dang, this is so cool. I love how awesome the shirt design is. I know the original Hellboy, I believe he just wore like a muscle shirt. I believe this one did too, but I mean with that logo, basically like representing that he does work for the brewery, the brewery. So, and I love the fact that they brought back the rosary and his what's it called, pocket sacks, and then of course the infamous Magnum handgun. So that is so cool. I believe that the hand is almost the same, except I believe they did more like a hexagon look to it, and the original one did a more like round one. Which I mean, it does give that slight difference that you know that it's not Ron Perlman's Hellboy. But man, I love the fact that he's more battle damaged than Ron Perlman's Hellboy. That just shows like he's aged over the years and how like he's actually fought monsters and stuff like that. And I love the fact that it's also even on the shoulder. The other I think it's the bracelet. Crazy though that we get to see the full-on ponytail. He has more hair, I believe, than Ron Perlman's. I feel like if anything, I think Ron Perlman's was supposed to be an older Hellboy, and this one was supposed to be like a younger one. That's kind of what it seemed like. I know they did like introduce a lot of references from Ron Perlman's Hellboy, but still, like, man, this is so cool. Oh man, I did wish that they brought more. I wish people enjoyed more this version, just to like understand the story better. I mean, yeah, it was darker than Ron Perlman's, but I mean that just made it a much better effect for this storyline than the more upbeat and funnier Ron Perlman's version. So, but absolutely a cool figure. So, now speaking of the Ron Perlman's, that's what we're gonna do next. We're going to open both of those, which we're gonna see quite the difference in between the two of them. So, starting off with the more normal Hellboy, because the other one is, let's just say, a huge difference between the two. So, I mean, this one, I'm trying to remember exactly why he's missing an eye in this one. Like, I understand he gets the sword, which kind of supposedly fulfills the prophecy in the movie, but the eye, I'm trying to remember exactly what happens to it. I don't remember. Oh, I think it's supposed to be a black eye, if anything, because I remember he gets beaten up pretty badly in the movie. So, but yeah. So, and obviously the huge difference already between the two Ron Perlmans and the other Hellboy is you can obviously see that this one had a lot more characters in the set or in the series, and this one kind of seems like it was just a standalone pop, which obviously for the reasons why I've been just saying. So, but let's go ahead and open this one up, because let's get a better look at the figure and like exactly what's the difference between this version of Hellboy and the other one that we just looked at. So first off, already there is a lot going on here. So obviously the difference is, first thing is their weapons of choice, or their weapons in the molds. Obviously this one has the sword, which I am trying to remember what the name of the sword is. I am pretty sure if someone knows, they would, if someone knows, could they put it in the comment section? But yeah. So second thing is he doesn't have a shirt on. I know in the movie he has a muscle shirt, but I believe in this scene it gets damaged or something, or it gets torn off. So, and then secondly, already the fist. Look at that. It's not hexagon like the other one. This one is more rounded, like I was talking about. So, and then obviously, like I was mentioning, the rosary the rosary makes a comeback in the other movie, and this is where it basically was coming from, and the pockets, which I believe that one is supposed to be where the magnum is, the handgun basically, and obviously his filed down horns and his obviously jacked up face. I'm trying to remember exactly why he doesn't have an eye in here. And then, or I was talking about the ponytail, like there was more hair in the other one than this one, obviously. So I just believe that if anything they were trying to make a prequel to this version of Hellboy, but it just wasn't flying with anybody, unfortunately. So, but yeah, absolutely crazy. And there's not even like a single reference to the bureau, where this one, the other one did. I had like two, which was the shirt and the coat. This one obviously doesn't seem like he's trying to reference it at all, which is kind of understandable if you watch the movie. So, but let's open up, or let's go on to the next one, because man, I am super excited to show off that one. Actually, I take that back. You know what I just realized? It's on this shoulder. Barely can see it, but it is on this one. That is so crazy. I never knew. I always thought that, what's it called, it wasn't even referenced on his clothing. Like, I understood that, you know, it was talked about in the movie, but I didn't realize his actual clothing showed a reference to it. So, sorry about that. I just wanted to chime that in. Like, man, that's crazy. Didn't even realize that. So, definitely would not have seen that if I just kept it in the box. So, alright, but seriously, on to the next one. First off, let me just give a shout out to Pop Expositionz. I believe that's his, like, his front name or his account name on Insta, which I will be putting in the description, because he is a local Funko Pop / collectibles. I believe he just mainly does Funko Pops, but I don't know if he dabbles in other stuff, but I wanted to give a shout out to him because that's actually where I bought this guy at. It was at the Vibe Center, which is a local, what used to be an old movie theater, but now renovated into a bar/event center. So, and while being there at the Vibe Center, he was there with his little table and booth, basically like selling a ton of his pops. And I was actually surprised to find this one among them, because surprisingly, even though Hellboy is kind of not common, but he's not rare either. So, but it just threw me off to find this version and this one exactly. So, but yeah. So, and the reason why the name is different, because I believe this is his actual I believe that's his actual like non-human name. I think it's like his more demonic name, if anything. I believe that's. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing it because I definitely doubt that I'll be able to pronounce it correctly. But man, this one is so cool. So this one is basically showing you a glimpse of the prophecy. And obviously, back to the other one, that this one is part of the series. Comes right after the other one, actually, to be surprising. So I know there's other versions outside of the common series, which one of them I believe was a SDCC exclusive, and the other one was something else entirely. Or no, maybe it was just this one and the SDCC exclusive, which that one he's wearing a suit. The SDCC exclusive, which looks awesome, especially his background is like with this like full-on tentacles and everything. Just absolutely looks awesome. But yeah, so just gonna give a shout out to Pop Expositionz, who hooked me up with this one and another Funko Pop, which I will be getting onto later in the series because it's just not part of this themed yet. But I will get to it eventually because that collection is a huge one for sure. So, but yeah, let's get into it because I want to pop this guy open and show you guys how awesome it looks. Oh my god. This is my first time seeing it outside of box. I mean, this is probably the first time I've seen all of these outside of box because I haven't opened any of these, which not even the keychain pops. But man, this is absolutely astonishing and amazing. So first off, huge difference right away is obviously he has like a darker, more like not, well yeah, like a bloodier red skin tone. And man, look at the absolute horns on this man. Like, oh man, that is so cool. So this is finally when he starts to have an internal fight with himself on, because everybody is afraid that he's going to become this, well, basically what he supposedly is destined to be, which is like basically the next Demon King or devil, basically, henceforth Hellboy. But man, and like when he starts to show off this form, it's absolutely just awesome. It's so crazy. Like, what would have happened if Hellboy went further and did go into a monstrous route? This is exactly what he would look like. So, and I am so amazed that Funko got like a very good grasp of it. And obviously already like his clothing changes too. Like he goes from pants or basically pants to like this loincloth type deal. And like look at the metallic on his feet. Man, that is so cool. And then the sword is changed effect also. Like it goes from like that gold look to like purely like pure metal look. I don't know what type of metal it would be, but I know it just absolutely looks amazing. And then the way that they do the flame is absolutely awesome. The translucent look, honestly, it would be awesome if this was a glow-in-the-dark pop, because man, that flame alone would probably be bright enough to shine off his face. But unfortunately it's not. But man, I just would have killed it right away. It's with that fun, like that finished touch of the flame being glow in the dark and then his eyes glowing. Oh man, but all right, on to the next ones. But man, this is just too wicked not to look at. So, all right, on to the next one, which will be Trick or Treat. I'm gonna save obviously Ed for last because that's just the way it goes. Because I'm kind of doing it in order. So, but yeah, on to the next one. So this one is Trick or Treat, Sam. But if you haven't seen the movie already, this is kind of a spoiler because it's kind of towards the end of the movie that Sam reveals that he's not exactly human. He does have like human hands and all that and like a small boy body, but like when the mask comes off, this is basically what you're going to be facing if you ever get if you get to see it. It's basically like this pumpkin head, which honestly I think they did a pretty good job capturing most of it, but I feel like they just didn't quite get to all of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's because you got to see the movie in order to understand like the detailing that they're kind of missing is hard to describe, but it's just not quite there. But overall, it's an awesome pop. And I love the fact that they made this one exclusive because I could have seen it as a chase, really. Because they could have, you know what they could have done? They could have made the head glow in the dark. I know it's not exactly like, well, that doesn't make quite sense. But I think it would have been an awesome glow in the dark just because the orange vinyl right away would have shined so bright. But that's just me. But I do like it overall. Because, man, it is just awesome. And I kind of wanted to do, I never realized that, what's it called? I realized that soon, next month, is going to be October. So I just wanted to do horror. Not to get out of the way, but because it's just right timing. I mean, yeah, we're still in September, and it's obviously going to be a bit till next month, but still, like, doing a horror collection video right now is a pretty good choice. So, but yeah, let's get into it, because I want to see what this guy looks like outside the box. I just realized Sam is a lot smaller than a lot of the figures that I've been showing off. So, but yeah. Man, this is so cool. So I love the fact that already, like, we get the face reveal, and they did an amazing job, but I don't know, just something about the head doesn't seem to quite fit the movie version. I know it's not exactly, like, right to always compare something to either the real thing or to, like, your idea of what it should be, but, I mean, can't hate all that much. So, but honestly, overall, an amazing pop. And I love the fact that they give him the bitten lollipop, which honestly iconic already. So, but man, obviously he has like that little boy what's it called, body size. So of course I love the fact that they use a onesie to overall like be the perfect fit for him. And I love the gloves. So, but man, I love the fact that they did this for the eyes, because that kind of shows you that, like, it's still Sam, but without the mask. So, and I think they even show it in the movie, because in the movie it's basically his pupils. So, overall, just an awesome pop. So, but yeah, just, I don't know, I feel like something's off with the head. But like, they did kind of miss a chance for it to be a chase. But overall, just awesome. But let's go on to the other Sam, which is the Halloween Spirit exclusive. And this one was a Hot Topic exclusive. I realized I didn't mention what type of exclusive it was. I don't think that's important, but I still like to throw it out there just for people that are like, ooh, what type of exclusive is it? So, but yeah, on to the next one. Well, this one is the Spirit Halloween exclusive. I know I mentioned that in the last part, but I thought I'd bring it up again just to kind of clarify what Spirit exclusive means on the sticker. So, now, I don't know if there isn't that many places where Spirit Halloween goes to, but, you know, just to throw it out there. So, but almost the same thing with the Hot Topic exclusive one, but just slight differences that you'll see right now with obviously his mask on. So, but let's get a closer look, because it's not going to do it justice in the box. So starting off right away is the killer mask that they just threw on Sam. Oh man, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to describe it like perfectly on the texture of the mask, but man, they did an amazing job with like replicating like a, how do you, like basically like a potato sack type look, and the feel is almost there. It just doesn't have that obvious like straw feel to it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so the other thing is that he has his head bent. I don't know if like head tilt, I mean. I don't know if it like shows on the camera, but his head like is slightly off to, if you're like facing it to the left, or like basically the camera position, it would be to the left slightly, like if he's like watching or like staring back at you, which is like creepy. Sorry, had to do that. So, but yeah, and then obviously if you know in the movie, or even in the folklore of Halloween traditions or lore behind it, is to always check your candy, because supposedly if you don't check your candy, something bad will happen. And in the movie it explains like, what's it called, that you always should check your candy because it could be dangerous, because in the movie there's a person that puts like needles in the candy, and well, unfortunately the victim ate it and basically it got all bloody. But Sam got a hold of one of those candies because he stole the sack, and he uses it to fight somebody in the movie. So, but besides that, the hand is lowered, and it's basically the same onesie, just slightly different with the molding, because they put the kind of like a piece of the potato sack on the back and front of it, and like the tie that basically holds it all together. So slight differences, but overall almost the same thing too. Just, man, it's like you feel like you're collecting the same pop, but just those slight differences make a huge variant in all the pops. So, but absolutely love both, and I do want to collect all the Sams of the Trick or Treat, but unfortunately the very first one to come out is, well, he kind of has a hefty price on him. So that one, if I do end up getting the chance to find it, hopefully I have kind of the money to spend for that one. But I don't really see me getting it right away, if anything. So, but overall, and I am excited with that whole new drop of the new Trick or Treats coming out. So, man, might definitely pick some up. So, but yeah, on to the final pop of the horror section, which is going to be, and this one is Ed from Shaun of the Dead, which is a older Entertainment Earth exclusive, which, if you can't tell obviously by the sticker. So what's cool about this one is I like the fact that there's actual more blood splatter than, unfortunately, like the Jason Voorhees Hot Topic exclusive. But it overall makes it cooler because it basically shows you that he's going through the zombies in this version than the other one where he's just simply posed with the shovel. So gives you that more like movie-like effect, which is awesome. So, but yeah, and then I believe it shows the rest of the series, which is just Shaun, and that's about it. And then I believe there's other variants, which is Bloody Shaun, Normal Shaun, and then obviously it's Bloody Ed, Normal Ed, and then Zombie Ed. Which, if you haven't seen the movie, it's not exactly a spoiler, but kind of is. So sorry if you haven't seen the movie and you were planning on it, but yeah, that's basically one of the other versions of Ed. So I don't think there's a third version of Shaun, now that I think about it. Only 2 Shauns and 3 Eds. I could be wrong though. It has been a while since I've looked it up, so, but I only remember those 2 and the 3 Eds. So, but let's go ahead and pop this open, because I haven't really seen full grasp of this pop yet. So obviously starting off right away is the blood splatter. Man, this one goes all over the place, from his forehead all the way down to his white shoes, which unfortunately get stained. It's even on the bottom of it. Man, that is so detailed. Absolutely love that. Unfortunately, though, surprisingly, no blood on the shovel, which is interesting. That's probably got to be the cleanest part of this whole pop, and it's weird because that is the weapon that he uses. Interesting. But obviously, I mean, honestly, overall, an awesome pop. I love the fact that they captured basically all of Nick Frost's character, and it honestly looks a lot like the character in the movie, especially with the I Got Wood shirt, which it's pretty funny. So I so wish I could get this signed if I ever run into Nick Frost. I so hope I could get this one signed if I even bring the pop with me, which probably will if I do plan on seeing Nick Frost. So, but overall, an awesome pop. So, and I love the fact that Nick Frost and Simon Pegg still do stuff together. Not a lot, but they still do like pretty good shows, and I believe they did a movie recently. Don't think so. Could be wrong about that. Probably am. So, but overall, an awesome pop. Not much going on in the back, which is not surprising. Probably because that's not their main focus. Most of their focus is in the front, which they captured a lot in the front. Which is good, basically, because that shows that it is perfect for either out of display or in display box pop. So overall, an awesome pop. Absolutely love it. So that is going to be it for the horror one. Now on to the flocked one, which I will be showing you the overall look of it. Just to show you like an overall view before I go on to the flocked one, that'd be appropriate. So sorry if the video is long. I just would like to capture so much in short videos, but unfortunately that doesn't exactly fit within short videos. So sorry if you guys find these videos very long, but I just love going over basically how the Funko Pops look inside and out of the box. And I forgot to show you that the coolest, also one of the coolest parts, is the handprints. The bloody handprint on the side of the box. That just gives it a cooler effect. That's not the pop protector. That's actual the box of the Funko Pop. So, but yeah, so onto the flocked one. Thought I'd just show you guys one last time. So this is the flocked collection that I have, which going from Target exclusives, which are the Target exclusive flocked Gizmo, White Rabbit, the Target Con exclusive Knuckles, which, man, I so thought I was never gonna find that one until the next day after Target Con released, and they still had one just left, and the box is honestly in almost mint condition. I think there's only like a little nick on the back. But besides that, just honestly an awesome find. And then we have the Walmart Green Day Tafiti flocked, which awesome. Don't know if I'm gonna keep it though. I might give it away to my niece because she did say that she liked it. But I think it's just overall a cool one because I think this was one of the coolest Earth Day pops that they had. So, and then I could have thrown this in my horror one, but I feel like it's better fit in my flocked section just because it's overall flocked, and I would love to get the chase variants. There is obviously more than this flocked one, which this is supposed to be like the normal flocked version, and there's two other chases, which one of them is red furred and the other one I believe is white, which overall is awesome. And then this one is the shared 2020 fall convention flocked Ian, which I believe is one of my most expensive pops. Obviously the more expensive version is the actual convention one, but this one overall is also an expensive version. I don't believe it's quite with the official sticker, but it's quite up there. And then this one is the entertainment exclusive flocked Grumpy Cat, which unfortunately Grumpy Cat, if you guys don't know, did pass away about 4 years ago. Yeah, it was a real sad thing to happen in not only the meme community, but obviously the owners of Grumpy Cat, which sucks. It's very unfortunate that the cat did pass away, but I'm glad that the meme is what kind of also keeps him alive. So, but yeah, this is the my flocked collection, which let's get into it because definitely want to see these guys outside a box. So might start off with Krampus because kind of still fits with the horror themed. I know I kind of just opened the box already, but man, I was just too excited not to open this one up yet. So I'm not sure if they did this one based off the movie or based off an actual like holiday icon, which obviously is Christmas themed, which there is lore behind it. If you don't know already, the lore behind Krampus is that he is the half twin of Santa Claus. Obviously this one he looks more animal, but in the original folklore he's more human, like face wise, but everything else is kind of beastie look. And basically what happened is, if it's, I believe it's a German folklore, which instead of getting coal for Christmas for the naughty boys and girls, they get a visit from Krampus, which lore is that he visits them and he basically kidnaps them and takes them away forever, and basically they're never seen again, which is absolutely crazy. And there's also a movie based off this character, which I don't believe it pertains to the actual folklore of the story, but it's honestly an amazing horror movie if you haven't seen it. It's just called Krampus. I know there's other like lower budget, I don't know if that was low budget, anyways, but like straight DVD copies of Krampus, which is like Krampus and something. But honestly, if you just watch Krampus, that is an awesome movie, and it's pretty good. And I believe they released an extended cut of it, which it's called Krampus the Naughty Cut. If you want to see like with more original audio and longer scenes, that would be the version to watch. But I've only seen the normal one. So, but honestly, love the flocking in this one. It just fits it so perfectly. And as I was mentioning, there is in fact a naughty kid in his, well, I believe it's supposed to be a sack, but it kind of looks more like a bucket. But this is obviously what would happen if you were a naughty boy or girl, and he would basically take you away from your home and you would never be seen again. So love the fact that you would not have seen this in the box. So honestly, awesome to look at. And even the tip of his tail is flocked, which is just awesome. Love the way that Funko killed this one, and I so want to get the other ones, which is the other two flocked ones, which are the chases, which is red and white. I did look it up. It's red and white. So, but overall, an awesome pop. And I'm going to move on to the Tafiti. Also, forgot to mention, shout out to Rene's Comics. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's Rene, apostrophe S, which I believe it's pronounced Rene's or Ren's. I like to call it Ren's just to make it simpler. I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it at all. But I actually bought this Funko Pop from those guys, which is a local comic book shop here at the Valley. And I will be putting their Instagram page in the description, along with Pop Expositionz, which I bought the Hellboy figure from. So, but yeah, so on to the next one. Next one is Tafiti, the flocked version of Earth Day 2022. Love the fact that they did 70% boxing, recycled material, 70% recycled material boxing, which honestly shows that they are supporting Earth Day as best as they can by helping the environment with not using as much new material and really trying to recycle some of the old stuff. So, which is an awesome way to show support. But let's go ahead and crack this one open. Alrighty, so first off, man, this flocking is amazing. It is all over the place. And I love the fact that, yeah, it's not flocked. They painted the flowers. But honestly, I think it fits it so well. I think it would have been harder if they tried to individually flock a flower and place it on there, because, you know, flock on flock, don't think it sticks very well. So, but paint does give it a much better look anyways. So, but overall, I believe the entire pop is actually covered in flock, except for the hands and the face, obviously. But man, such an awesome look. It actually fits Tafiti the most, I believe, because it kind of makes sense since she is, I don't know how they explained it in the movie, but she's basically like Mother Nature in the movie, like the movie's interpretation of Mother Nature and like her loving side, because I know there was the angry side too, which was like pure destruction and like lava and stuff. But overall, awesome. I'm not gonna go over this one much because it kind of just, it's self-explanatory. But if you guys just want to look at it one last time before I put it back away, and gonna move on to Ian. This is the Flocked Ian 2020 Fall Convention, which, man, I am so glad I managed to pick this up when I did, because it was actually part of the GameStop exclusive t-shirt bundle, which had the 2020 Fall Convention sticker. But I honestly didn't know that it was the Fall Convention exclusive, just because I wasn't really at the time following along with like conventions here and there. So I just thought it was a t-shirt bundle with Ian, and I really do love Cowboy Bebop. Still need to finish it. I know it's one of the best animes history. No, there's a lot of debate about that, but honestly, overall, so far, I absolutely love it. Probably won't recommend the live action just because it just, not a lot of people liked it. But yeah, so honestly, let's just get right into this pop. I mean, first off, let me show off the back. I believe this was the common, no, this is the newer series wave of Cowboy Bebop. There's an even older one which had the original Spike, original, what was his name? The pilot. Well, basically like Spike's best friend, and then it had Faye Valentine. So, and then this was the newer wave, which had Vicious, Ed, and Ian together in a single pop box, and then this one, which was the Flocked Ian. I believe Ian was also part of the original one. Could be wrong about that. Pretty sure he was, though. I think it was just a normal version, and then they threw it in with Ed in the new wave, and then obviously this one. But I am so hyped that they're dropping a new series of Cowboy Bebop Funko Pops, which is gonna have basically everybody, I believe. And then if you guys don't want to collect all the individual ones, there's going to be a Walmart 4-pack which will have all 4 commons put together in one. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and crack this one open. So right away, I believe he's one of the smallest pop figures that I own. Don't believe there's anyone smaller than him, besides obviously the keychain pops. But yeah, besides that, he has got to be one of the smallest figures that I own overall. He is actually smaller than my hand, or as big as my hand, technically. He fits perfectly in my palm, basically. Man, this is so cool. I love the fact that this one makes the most sense to have flocked. Like, come on, it's Ian. He's a dog. It just makes absolute sense to make him flocked. So obviously love the way that they just absolutely killed it. Not gonna go so far into detail because it just, again, like the Tafiti, it's pretty self-explanatory on the flocking and all. But man, I just realized too, he doesn't have much separation of his feet. It's all connected. His feet and his butt is all connected. Doesn't even got much of a tail. Of course, in the anime, I don't think he even has much of one, or they show off one. So, but honestly, overall, an awesome Cowboy Bebop pop. It just absolutely makes the most sense and absolutely just kills it. So, on to the next one. Actually, now thinking about it, I think this one might compete for the smallest pop, because obviously they should be around the same size, if anything, because one is a cat, one is a dog. But I feel like Ian might be just shorter than Grumpy Cat. Just short. I really don't want to take out both of them and do a comparison. I'm just kind of lazy. I might do it in another video, but right now I just want to, just show you each pop individually. Maybe I'll do a comparison video of like all sizes of all the pops that I have. Obviously, the ones that are probably going to win are my 10 inches, but you know, overall, just like showing the buildup of like different sizes of all pops. Anyways, besides the whole point. So, obviously, this is the Grumpy Cat, which that's basically his real life photo, or its real life photo. So, but overall, this is what it looks like on the box, inside the box. So, let's take it out real quick and have a better look at it. Absolutely love the fact that, I don't know, I believe certain Funko Pops have this inside the box. I know there's like a few videos of people that like show it off, that some of the pops have them. Not a whole lot of them. I think like there's certain ones that, like if you look inside the flaps, will have these. So this one just fits Grumpy Cat because obviously it just says no. So, but yeah. I'm going to check the top flap. There it is. And obviously one of his more iconic memes is this one. If you don't know Grumpy Cat, you at least would probably recognize this quote. I had fun once, it was awful. So yeah, this is kind of what made Grumpy Cat a more famous meme, with this quoting and then obviously his overall face. So, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So this one, surprisingly not as flocked as Ian. This one has a more rougher flocking, if that kind of makes sense. It doesn't feel as soft as some of the other flocks that they have. It feels more like paint, if anything. Like just roughed on paint that they just threw on there. Like blotchy paint. There it is, blotch paint. But yeah, not as soft as Ian, but I believe this one might be slightly taller. That's just because of the ears stick up a little bit further. But overall, still as small as the palm of my hand. So, yeah. And then obviously his iconic grumpy face. Just overall perfect pop. And I love the fact that they capture his blue eyes, which he does have blue eyes. It doesn't look quite blue, but yeah. And I love the fact that his butt and his legs and his tail don't all look the same like Ian does. So, better molding wise. More detailing you can notice right away than the Ian one. So, but yeah, overall, believe this one is taller and not as good as flocking as I would hope. But still a good pop overall. So, move on to the next ones, which are going to be finally the Target ones. So moving on to the 2022 Target Con Flocked Knuckles, which I don't believe they've done a remolding of Knuckles until now, the flocked version for Target Con. So, but man, I was so excited for this one dropping, especially because this one dropped right before Sonic 2 was going to be released. I believe the trailer just dropped for Sonic 2 when they introduced flocked Knuckles, and man, everybody was hyped up for this pop, especially because with the introduction of Knuckles in the second movie, which if you haven't seen the movie, honestly recommend watching both 1 and 2, because man, I know they're definitely going to make a part 3, which is going to introduce another iconic character besides Tails, Knuckles, and well, obviously Sonic. So, but overall, awesome. So, don't think they have much to show on the back besides, yeah, the 30th anniversary classic Sonic and Silver, which I believe they did restock it sometime after Sonic 2, the movie, when it came out in theaters. I believe they had restocked classic Sonic and Silver again for basically like the movie coming out. So, but honestly, let's just get right into it, because, man, I am so excited to see this one out of box. Whew, man, it is so cool to take it outside of box, because there's not much going on in the back besides his hair, but, man, it just doesn't do it justice to leave it inside the box. So, I don't know what's up with his shoes. I'm pretty sure that's based off, like, his actual design. But is it just me, or does the top of it look like Legos? Like gray Lego pieces just stuck on the top of the straps. So, but that's not what is important. What's important is how sick this Knuckles looks. Yeah, because I believe there's only one other Knuckles, which is the original one that came out, which had original Sonic, original Tails, and original Knuckles. I don't believe there was an original Dr. Egghead. No, I don't think so. I think it was just mostly those three. So, but so glad we finally got an updated mold for Knuckles, because, man, it's just killing it with the whole power stance and everything, like his overall fighting stance. And I love the fact that they got so many details right, and the flocking just absolutely makes the most sense. I believe they did another one the previous years of a flocked Sonic character, which was Tails, actually, which I believe that one's going up in price along with this one and Sonic. I believe Sonic is still one of the most expensive flocked ones out of the characters in the Sonic franchise, or Sonic series, Funko Pops. Obviously the original ones are much more higher, but I believe the most expensive flocked Sonic character is Sonic. Or it could be Tails. I believe it's between those two. I know this one is not one of those two, because it's still a newer release. I believe over time, though, if they introduce another character flocked, I believe he'll soon be reaching up there with Tails and Sonic. So, but overall, an awesome pop. So that is so cool. Alright, so I'm going to put this one back, and I'm going to get into the last two, which is going to be White Rabbit next. This one was a only Target exclusive White Rabbit from Alice in the Wonderland, which this one was also another one of those that came with a t-shirt bundle. T-shirt is honestly pretty cool. I love the fact that it's him running and all the numbers flying around him and him constantly checking his watch. Basically, because he's always in a hurry, he always checks his watch. He's always doing something. And obviously, he's always trying to keep a tight schedule for whatever he does, no matter what day. So, but honestly, love the fact that they made this one flocked. It just makes absolute sense out of all of the Alice in Wonderland characters. So, but yeah, and then I believe this one shows off, yeah, it shows off the newer kind of wave of Alice in Wonderland. It doesn't obviously show the blacklight ones or all the ones that came later on, but this was kind of like the most recent common set of Alice in Wonderland, which obviously they redid almost everybody. I just don't believe they did the caterpillar. I'm trying to remember if that's his name. I'm pretty sure he had like a more real name, but overall the caterpillar. So, but yeah, they did almost everybody all new again. So, and then obviously the White Rabbit. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna crack this thing open and we'll get a better look at it. Man, this one is the total opposite of what was the name? This one is the total opposite of Tafiti, that's for sure. Because everything that should be flocked is flocked, and obviously his clothes, his glasses, his clock, and his umbrella is not. But man, overall, this is if you are an Alice in Wonderland fan, you would absolutely loved what they did with the flocking on this character. Because man, they did an awesome job with it. The feet are flocked to his hands and obviously all around his head, which absolutely makes sense, except for his nose and eyes, obviously. But overall, an awesome, well-detailed pop. This is basically the front, the side, and the back. I love the fact that they connected the chain all the way to his back, where he normally keeps his watch. Oh man, this is so cool. And I love the fact that the glass kind of makes it blurry, which it makes it like more realistic, because obviously you're not gonna be able to see through his glasses, because they're not gonna be for all people, just for his sight. So honestly, so cool. And his little cottontail is also, what's it called, flocked. So absolutely love that. So, well, I'm gonna be moving on to the very last flocked pop, which is going to be Gizmo. And the final and last pop of this video is going to be flocked Gizmo. I believe I could have thrown this in also with the horror ones, besides Krampus, but I don't think I'm gonna do that, because this is kind of more Christmas movie, if anything. But it also has some horror elements, which kind of do make it in both a holiday horror classic. So, but overall, I love the fact that this is the newer molded Gizmo and not the older one that they just would have flocked if Funko did decide to do that. But love the updated mold, and I love the fact that they threw in his 3D glasses, which you see him kind of play with in part 1, I believe, actually. Don't remember if it was part 2. I don't think so. But 3D glasses, honestly, such a cool, throw to add with Gizmo. It just makes the most sense. And then this one has the updated molded Gizmo and the new updated Gremlin where he wears the glasses. Actually, I take that back. I believe this one was part 2, because the Gremlins were wearing glasses in the movie theater inside the building. And I think Gizmo just had a pair of glasses. So honestly, overall, so cool. I would love to get the 10-inch Gizmo, which was a Walmart exclusive. But I know that one sold out right away at our Walmart, and I doubt it was still in stock at any other Walmart. So sorry if the pop protector looks all foggy. I'm not sure if I need to take out the film already. I think I do. So, but overall, let's just crack into it, because man, honestly, it's honestly gonna look cooler outside of box. That is so cool. It fits it so well and perfectly. Not gonna lie, it honestly would be like slightly bigger, and it probably would be a life-size version of Gizmo, because I don't think they were that big to begin with. I believe they were maybe 4-5 inches big, and that's not even mentioning the Gremlins, which I believe they were slightly taller, which would make sense if they made it a 6-inch figure, because I believe the Gremlins were slightly bigger than Gizmo. Know that much. So, but honestly, overall, self-explanatory, and honestly just makes the most perfect sense for this one to be flocked. Kind of wish they made the Gremlins like metallic, because they just would give it that more scaly look. Doubt they would do that, but man, overall, this is just so cool. So simple, and yet so fitting and perfect for Gizmo. Man, overall, just so cool. Kind of glad that they redid the Gremlins Funko Pops, just because it was about time that they had it a new mold, because I believe they still had the hero pose. I mean, not the hero pose, the original Funko pose, which was just the arms to the side. So glad we're finally getting updated molds of some of the older Funko Pops, and then finally getting some newer, better, newer characters Funko Pops. So especially with the new drop that Funko had put on their account for NYCC, which, man, those pops are gonna be awesome to see in person, which I will definitely hoping to pick up once they share them, because I'm definitely not gonna be going to New York to be going and getting those pops. So unfortunately, hopefully one day hopefully I will be able to go and take you guys along with me and be checking out all of the crazy booths that they'll have there. But until that day comes, just gonna be collecting the shared ones, because I definitely do want to show you guys as best as I can all upcoming Funko Pops and Funko Pops that I have in our collection. So alrighty, well, I'm gonna put this back in the box, put them away, and then yeah, to show off the flock collection one last time before I put them away and just end the video. So, but yeah, honestly, love my flock collection. We'll definitely try to build it up for sure, and honestly, I just want to build up the collection for sure, just so I can show off all pops that I would love to show you guys and that I would enjoy in the collection. So, but yeah, let me put these guys away and then say bye. That was the horror and flocked collection for this video, which is part 2 of this pretty long, this kind of who knows how many series of videos, which is basically of the overall collection that we have so far. So love you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope you guys stay safe and enjoy life. Love you guys. Peace.